Hello, friends. I'm going to give y'all a few seconds to jump on. Hopefully, y'all are out here joining us for our second round of pitches. It's our third annual IB Black Girl Pitch event. We are virtual this year as well, but we are here and ready. And we're super excited to introduce you to our amazing business owners and founders. Okay, I'm seeing some hearts. If y'all out there, just drop something in the chat. So I know that you're working with the technology, that you're ready to engage with our business founders. Let us know what you eating on for lunch. Where you at? You outside watching what's going on? And we'll give a few more seconds for folks to join us, and then we will jump in. All right, all right. Well, we are going to get started. As I mentioned, welcome to our March 20th pitch event. So the second of four installments of pitches that are happening this year in 2021 for Black women founders and business owners. I am Ashley Spivey, and I am the founder and director of IB Black Girl. So hopefully y'all know about us, or we need to figure out something else. But if you don't know about us, IB Black Girl was founded super organically in 2017, really as a space for Black women to connect. We have flourished and evolved since then, and we are really doing some amazing things in the community that we are excited to share with you. So if you look at the screen, you can see our areas of work. We are supporting Black women founders and entrepreneurs. We are creating spaces for us to connect. We are pushing out research around what we need to be successful and access our full potential. We are looking at collective investments in Black philanthropy, and we are advocating and building coalitions around issues and opportunities that affect Black women, femmes, and girls. So please visit our website so you can learn more about our work. And we want to give a special thanks to our partners at the Women's Fund of Omaha, who are our fiscal sponsor and our co-conspirators in this work. So as I mentioned, we are thinking about and looking at entrepreneurship, and that is through our IB Black Girl business. And so the case of really why we wanted to kind of go deep in this area and support Black women founders is because we are building businesses. We are the fastest growing market of entrepreneurs in the nation, and yet we have disproportionate access to capital and relevant and cultural appropriate business services. And so we were like, okay, that's a place where IB Black Girl can step in and really think about transforming the systems around us. And so we exist in this space to really create connectedness for Black women founders and leaders. So we hold kind of think tanks and spaces for us just to have like partners in building a business because it's tough. We are actively investing capital into our Black women founders. So this year alone, we've invested over $70,000 into our founders. And then again, we're thinking about how can we provide culturally relevant technical and capacity building support. And we're excited this year to launch our business catalyst, as we have done just one-off workshops in the past, but we're putting that all together in a different forum. So we're excited to be able to do this work, and we are excited that you are here with us. We cannot make this day possible without our sponsors. So again, we need partners in this work, and those partners also need to invest dollars in us. And so thank you to Spreetel, who is our event sponsor. We also have Bank of the West, Centris, and Millwork Commons, who have invested in our prize packages surrounding our pitchers. And then again, Women's Fund, they rocking with us, so we rolling. Again, thank y'all for being sponsors of this event, and we are super excited to be able to host this today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so y'all can meet some of the folks that are going to help make this possible. So I'm just one of the folks in the back end. My girl Melinda is sitting, I guess it's this side because it's opposite. She is sitting here with me. She is learning the back end of this technology because she will be doing it for our other pitch events. So she is here versus on screen. But I got my homegirl Nikki. Hey, Nikki.
Hey, girl, hey.
So Nikki is one of the hosts for today. So she will be guiding you through this time. Nikki is on our advisory team. She also works in the equity and inclusion space at Bank of the West. She is a business owner herself. She is a boss. She is slay. Look at her makeup, y'all. I try to ask her, listen, I said, Nikki, will you give me a tutorial? And she was like, I don't have the patience. Like, didn't even say she would think about it, do it. Like, she was like, no, girl, you're going to struggle on your own.
Listen, I'm not trying to ruin friendships over some makeup. So
Listen, you think you would? I can be a little annoying. So I'm sure you would be like, I'm through with this. So Nikki is helping us host. And then I really want to introduce our judges today. So we have some dynamic, brilliant Black women that will be evaluating and supporting today's pictures. So first up, I would like to introduce Mrs. Eileen Warren. Hey, Mrs. Warren. So Mrs. Warren works at UNMC. She is the Vice Chancellor of Human Resources. Did I get that title right?
Associate Vice Chancellor, but that's okay. I'll take
Okay,
it.
a boss. They just need to know that you're a boss and what you
I'm
do.
glad
Yeah.
to be here. Yes.
And she's also the board chair for the Women's Fund. She's an advocate for Black women, femmes, and girls, doing this work both for IB Black Girl and the Women's Fund. And we're super excited to have you here. And you've been with us since the very first pitch.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just
Back
so
when
excited.
outside was open, when we was in
Yes.
person.
Yes. Yes. I'm just excited that you continue to have me to be a part of this, and I'm looking forward to the presentations today.
Awesome. So next up, I would like to introduce Candace Price. So Candace Price is co-owner of Home Team Auto Sales. She also is the new director of the Minority Women's Business Center. Did I get that right?
It's okay. It's the Grow Nebraska Women's Business Center.
You
And
know,
there is the Metro Omaha Women's Business Center. There's so many acronyms and names.
I know, next time I'm gonna write down this because I feel like because I know y'all, I just know the titles and I always ask and then I get it wrong.
Right. You got the last part right, which matches right with IB Black Girl. So the Women's Business Center. So that works.
Boom. There we are. And she does a ton of stuff in entrepreneurship in general. So Candace, we're super excited to have you back. You just did a roundtable for us too around business ownership. So
yes, and that was wonderful. I've actually already had some great things come from that. So I want to thank you, Ashley, for that. And I'm sorry for sitting here in headphones. I actually have some customers in right now too. So I just want to make sure you guys will be able to hear me, and hopefully you can clearly without the background.
Yeah, absolutely. You're good. Okay. And you'll get back off stage. Again, we are business owners doing, community service at the same time. So we understand that multitasking life. And then last but not least, I would like to introduce Auntie Nancy Williams. Hey, Auntie. So Nancy is the founder and executive director of No More Empty Pots. She has been in the entrepreneurship space. She's one of our business coaches for Best Burger, and is just really helping folks, especially in the food and food access and security space, find their path. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. And I'm apologizing now for the poor light, but you can hear me, which is the most important part.
Absolutely. And your skin still look good. Like, you glowing and stuff. So it's all good. So we are going to get into the pitches. I am going to put our judges backstage. They will be in the background listening, and they will come back when it is time for question and answer. So just a few housekeeping things. The chat works, y'all. So if y'all are out there in virtual land watching this, please chat us, put your questions in the chat box. We will get to them after the pitchers finish their presentation. We will be dropping in different links in the chat. So just really try to engage with us as much as possible. Pitchers, if you are not speaking, we're going to have you mute your mics again because sometimes technology works. And StreamYard works whether I'm in there or not, even though I'm the host. So just in case, internet sometimes gets a little hectic, it's windy out, I'll be back just in case, some technical difficulties. But otherwise, Nikki, I'm going to turn it over to you so we can get started.
Perfect. Awesome. So we have three amazing women business owners here today, all focused on the food and beverage industry. And we are actually beginning with Miss Susan Masood. She is the owner of Life Elixir Juices. And Life Elixir Juices delivers plant-based products that provide quality nutrition and that boosts the immune system of those who live, work, and play in the Omaha community. So we're super excited to introduce Susan.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? So welcome to Life Elixir Juices by Susan. Our goal today with every purchase is to redefine the way you view health. It's okay to start, right? Okay, I didn't see it. Okay, no worries. I want to ask you something today. What does your health mean to you? And what are you willing to sacrifice to keep it? Can you move to the next slide, please? Thank you. Okay, so like she said, my name is Susan Safia. I am the CEO and founder of Life Elixir Juices by Susan. We have been incorporated since February 2019, but the actual ideation started in 2018. My mother purchased a juicer for me, I guess in hopes to encourage me to eat more fruits and vegetables, as it was a period in my life where health was not a priority. Let's just keep it real. I had low energy, low stamina. I was overweight. My outlook on life was not as positive as it is today. So really, I have a personal story with juicing. And it actually started with the juicer and it turned into a passion. So I would say coincidentally, Ivy Black Girl posted a networking event, let's see, February or March 2019. And they were looking for vendors. And at the time, I didn't have a business name. I was not incorporated, just all types of barriers that most people think about when they have a dream that kind of stop them. So what I did, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to still try for this. I emailed Ashley and I said, hey, I want to sell juice here. I didn't have a name. I created a name, incorporated my LLC, and that day I sold 50 8-ounce juices at $5 a pop for a total of $250. That $250 felt like $1,000 to me. I'm not going to lie to you. It gave me enough confidence to start promoting on social media, start the process of getting the brand recognized. And at the time, there were not many juiceries in Omaha, Nebraska. This is, like I said, early 2018. And I did not know of maybe one in Omaha. And I knew of fewer Black-owned. There were no Black-owned businesses in the juice spectrum at that point in time, to my knowledge. So I actually spent the rest of 2019 popping up in different locations and encouraging fresh juice consumption in the Omaha community. That year, in 2019, our first year, we made about $10,000. So that's a lot to me, and I definitely was excited about that level that I reached. If you continue to the next slide. So what is a Life Elixir juice anyway? We are a garden to table African-American female-owned juicery featuring plant-based eats. Our focus is to encourage fresh fruits and vegetable consumption in the Omaha community and provide healthy alternatives to fast food. We are an economical juice service that aims to reduce food scarcity currently impacting our local economy. Our elixirs provide access to nutrition, a collection of superfoods that encourage overall wellness and optimal health. We also encourage mindful living, healthy habits, and an overall well-being through a holistic lens. So with all that being said, why does it matter to you? Why does it matter to me? I will tell you a story. I grew up in Houston, Texas, and I would come visit my family in Omaha, Nebraska. And there was a point in time, every time I would come visit, my uncle was having health issues with diabetes. I try not to cry a little bit, but rest his soul. I watched him lose both of his legs. And so sorry, guys. This is so personal to me. Just watching him go through that and watching my grandmother bury her uncle at a young age in his 50s, it's just something unimaginable. So this is super personal to me. It's super personal to my heart. And it's just something that I take very, very seriously as not just a business owner, but as a woman in our community. If you move to the next slide. Thank you. So the goal is to incorporate and encourage healthy habits. provide affordability and accessibility, encourage sustainability, and focus on our community. So what does it mean as far as incorporating healthy habits? The Black community struggles with high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes. Those are the three main things that cause us to have higher health issues, such as heart disease. So how can we combat that? How can we be different than our past? What we can do is create healthy habits by having a conversation about food and food accessibility. So if our ancestors grew up on pork and chicken and pig intestines and all those things, how can we create those healthy habits? We can do that by having these conversations that we're having right now and uplifting people in our community that are actually combating these issues. We need to work together. We need to provide affordability and accessibility to fruits and vegetables. There are places in Omaha, Nebraska that you can drive for 5-10 miles and there's not a grocery store in sight, specifically referring to North Omaha. My grandfather has been living around the 42nd and Sorensen area for the past 30 years. And really, to be honest, not much has changed. We really need to work on that. And that is my goal, to work on this and work in our community and providing access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So we want to provide free education on nutrition concepts. I am currently in the process of becoming a health coach because I want to work directly with families on how we can, on identifying the challenges of why can't we create healthy habits. As far as affordability, our juices are 12 ounces. They're $8 a pop. Our packages are significantly reduced as far as pricing because we want to say, juice is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. Fruits and vegetables are a necessity in our community. And also, as far as sustainability, we want to promote sustainable packaging. We want to promote reduce, reuse, and recycle. We at Life Elixir Juices are working with using our compost and reusing that to provide other uses for that compost. And lastly, like I said, community focus. We want to continue to produce juices and access to elixirs in local retailers and close the gap on food deserts. We also want to partner with community gardens, farmers, and nonprofits so that we can learn, teach, and heal together. Next slide, please. So what does the future look like for us? Currently, I'm in the kitchen. We're at 2215 Leavenworth. What we would do with this funding, if we're awarded the $5,000, there is a commercial juicer that we are looking to add to cart today that will streamline our business. Right now, I have to wash and cut all the fruits and vegetables myself. This will basically, I will wash it, throw it in there, and everything will be produced within, I would say, time and a half. It takes me about 2 hours to produce 40 bottles of juice, maybe 2.5. This actual juicer will enable me to produce juice.
Sorry. Susan, sorry, we are at time.
I know, time. Sorry.
It's okay. So I'm going to bring back in Nikki. I am going to bring back in our judges. So let me get them on screen here. Okay, so you will have 10 minutes for Q&A. Nikki, I'll be monitoring the chat and I'll pepper those in for you, okay? All right, so whatever judge would like to, or excuse me, evaluator would like to begin, feel free to jump in.
Can you talk a little bit more about your marketing, Susan?
Yes, so currently I engage with our clients on social media as far as Facebook and Instagram. We do conduct Facebook Lives to incorporate just a presence to talk to people and connect with people so if they want to ask questions. We also play some type of like tribal music so that we can kind of connect to our roots as well. So as far as marketing is concerned, everything is done by me. Everything is a one-woman show. We connect with our customers through social media and as well as word of mouth. Word of mouth, I would say, has been our number one as has been number one as far as getting access to customers and reaching people as far as what our mission is and what our purpose is.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Susan. I just want to tell you, one, I really appreciate your presentation a lot. I like that you were personable and you didn't mind being vulnerable and sharing with us. And sometimes that's what's needed also in business. So thank you for that and sharing about your family. And what you're speaking of, there was a post recently, and so I pulled it up on my phone to read it to you, to get your thoughts. And it's from Ashley Ray Turner. She's a part of the Urban League. And her post says, North Omaha actually has food apartheid. A food desert is a naturally occurring thing. Apartheid is the intentional segregation of resources.
Wow.
That is what is happening in parts of Eastern Omaha. That was powerful to me also. I had never thought about it in that context. So in what you're doing and working towards, is there, I guess, one, what do you think about that? And then two, is there something you're working towards to kind of help what seems to be almost intentional in the fact that you can only in one area drive for so long and not have a grocery store?
Wow, that's heavy. My thoughts on that is I never thought about that, but you're correct. I no longer think it is a food desert because you're correct. I believe it is intentional. There are historical issues with redlining in Omaha, Nebraska, as well as other cities. So as far as your first question, as far as what do I think about it? Was that the first question?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I definitely, it's heartbreaking, and I do agree that it's very intentional. As far as bridging the gap, what I want to do, we offer pickup and delivery services, and we mainly do delivery so that we can bring it to them. We can bring the access to them. I do have dreams of opening something that is not connected to the city of Omaha, that would sustain something like a around the season farmers market and access in North Omaha. That's like a big dream to me. And that's not just going to take me. I want to collaborate with anybody. I don't care. There are about eight juicing companies in the Omaha area. I believe three of them are Black owned. I don't have any type of pride. There is only collaboration in the Black community. There is no competition. We need to collaborate together so that we can actually prosper together. So I really think it's the idea of collaboration, and I'm definitely open to that conversation. I think it's not just going to take one company and one business and one passion. It's going to take us collectively. Hopefully that makes sense.
It definitely made sense. I appreciate you saying that. And we believe in big dreams here. You know, you have Nancy Williams on here right now who clearly believes in big dreams and no more empty pots. And literally the food that I purchased for later today to eat that my cousin just brought to me is from someone who's cooking in No More Empty Pots right now. So thank you for sharing that. And I appreciate you answering.
Thank you.
Hi, Susan. Thank you for, again, as Candace mentioned, showing up, being vulnerable, and sharing the personal side of stories, because those are the things that help people know that that you're in this with them, and you're not just showing up because this is something that you want to do, but it's also going to affect them. I have quite a few questions, but I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna start out with. You talked about making $10,000. What I didn't hear is how much of that was profit. Yeah, because that matters. If you make 10,000, but you spent 12, it didn't work out well. But if you made 15, then you got a little bit of profit. So can you just answer that really quickly?
Yeah, our profit, I would say, was around $4,000, just with, products and the actual packaging is what cost so much, and then the actual fruits and vegetables. At that time, we didn't have access or collaborations with local farmers like we do now. We've actually started a collaboration with a farm in Iowa, and they're actually planting kale, carrots, microgreens, producing that specifically for LEJ, and then anything extra would be allocated through different companies. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
Okay.
What time we have left? So
Miss, you can go ahead. Did you have any other questions, Auntie Nancy, that you wanted to ask before I get to the ones in the from the audience?
Yeah, I was going to ask about, you talked about collaboration and working with other folks. What are you doing right now with community organizations besides the farm that you just mentioned?
Yeah, so right now I would say I'm in the kitchen. This is Holly's Healthy Holes. She has graciously been working with me since June 2019. I met her networking, and she has enabled me the opportunity to produce juice at a low cost in her facility. I would say that's my number one collaboration that has been fruitful. As far as future collaborations, I am looking to do a plant-based pop-up. I have actually reached out to most of the other Black-owned juicing companies to get their ideas and see if we could do something together as far as like a pop-up, as far as a competition, anything really that can create the focus on us Black women promoting health and wellness is what I want to do. So that's something that's in the works. I have talked to a couple people about actually opening up, a storefront that has fresh fruits and vegetables, not just juice, but a salad bar, plant-based bar and things like that. So the conversations are happening. As far as is anything concrete right now? No, not this second, but I have really big plans for 2021. And right now I'm self-employed. And so this is the time for me to collaborate and to definitely utilize. So I appreciate you mentioning that. And that's definitely something that we want to keep on the forefront. Like I said, we're about collaborating and not competing. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Susan, there is a question from the audience.
Sure.
It asks, how can people order from you?
Yeah, so right now, if you check us out on Facebook or Instagram, you can either send us a message, you can text us, that is 402-216-2382, and that is actually on both of our business pages on Facebook and Instagram. And then we actually offer an order form as well.
And there is one other question from the chat.
Do you want to, Nikki, get the judges first? Because we only have 2 minutes left. So go to judges for other questions.
Sure.
No, this is Eileen. I don't have any additional questions. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm the same. I appreciate you answering my question.
Thank you.
I'll put mine in the comments later. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Nikki, you're up then. The question from the chat.
Okay.
You sound a little far.
She said, on average, how much weight can you consumer lose? I would say, on average, when someone does a 5-day cleanse, they can lose up to 10 pounds of fat.
Thank you. And the question was from Nika that Susan mentioned she personally lost a lot of weight. On average, how much weight can a consumer lose after consuming your juice? So we have about 1 minute left. Are there any final questions that we can get to? Okay. All right. If not, we are going to move to the next picture. Susan, thank you so much.
Thanks so much
for your pitch. We appreciate you taking the time. We are going to now transition, move folks off screen. Nikki, can you hear us okay?
You all sound far away too, so I don't know. I might need to pop off and pop back on.
Okay, go ahead and then I can take it to the next person.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, y'all, we just have to work with technology. So up next, we are excited to introduce Lauren Monroe. Prep by Lauren provides healthy, flavorful, prepared food for busy people, child, I didn't look into this, who may not have time to prepare healthy meals for themselves. So with that, I would like to bring onto screen Prepped by Lauren with Lauren. Are you there, Lauren? Can you hear us okay? Let's go ahead. Can you unmute yourself? If not, I can unmute you. Oh, it looks like she's having some technical difficulty. Give us just a second. We'll have her come back on to make sure that it works out. So while we're waiting, y'all are out there. We got over 30 people watching with us. Who has heard of IB Black Girl before? What is your favorite part of the work that we do? Just go ahead and drop it in the chat. And we're going to get this set up for her when she pops back on. Okay,
Hi, can you
Lauren.
guys hear me now?
Yes, we can. I'm going to share my
Okay.
screen and go off so that you can start. And folks in the chat, I still expect y'all to drop in your favorite part of Ivy Black Girl because that question still lives, okay? All right, Lauren, the stage is yours.
Hello, my name is Lauren Monroe Neal. I am the owner and founder of Prepped by Lauren LLC. We do meal prep and catering. Next slide, please. So I started Prep by Lauren in the middle of a pandemic after I had been doing meal prep for my mom and some family friends, as well as my grandmother, who my grandmother was suffering from heart disease and my mother had been diagnosed with diabetes. And so after completing culinary school and coming back home, I realized that I didn't necessarily have the time to work in someone else's kitchen, but I still wanted to provide food for people. So after about a year and a half of doing just meal prep for like my mom, my grandmother, trying to help them find healthy meals when they were not having the time to prepare healthy things for themselves. My mother is a busy teacher, and she had started a plant-based diet to try to combat that diabetes that she had been diagnosed with, but she was still buying a lot of processed foods. And just because it's plant-based doesn't mean that it's not processed and that it's not good for you and that it's good for you. So I took it upon myself to start doing some researching about plant-based diets and other nutritional aspects of just food in general and the way that food can be fuel for our bodies. In June of 2020, I started Prepped by Lauren, and it took off. I didn't expect to have a whole lot of clients, especially in the middle of a pandemic, especially with people at home. But it took off and things have been great. I offer plant-based and low-carb meals. I do offer meat as well, only because plant-based isn't for everyone. And some people still want to eat healthy without cutting meat, and I understand that. I am not a solely plant-based eater myself. I do still enjoy meat, but I try really hard to eat food that makes me feel good, and I just want to provide other people with food that makes them feel good. So my menu changes weekly. I do a rotating menu, and I try to incorporate new things as often as I can. Every week I offer a breakfast. I offer 3 breakfast, lunch, and snack options each week. Usually there are 4 lunch options. I try to keep 2 plant-based and 2 low or no carb meals available each week. I also offer charcuterie boards and small catering for events. And I recently started doing in-home personal chef sessions as well. I've done a couple of those and they've been really fun to do. And I'd like to get more into doing those kinds of fun things once the world opens back up again. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Next slide. Thank you. What makes Prep by Lauren unique? My goal is to make healthy, flavorful food available as fast food is for everyone. It's really, really hard to find food that is good for you and also tastes great and stays that way. So I work really, really hard to provide food that I know is going to keep, food that is going to stay fresh and still be delicious, whether you eat it the day you bought it or 2 or 3 days later. I provide meal prep for the whole week, and I try to provide enough options that you can enjoy more than one thing in a week. My meals are customizable on my website so that if someone wants to order one of the same things, for every day of the week, they can customize and change it so that they're not eating the exact same thing every day, because that repetitiveness can get boring and it can be hard to keep making healthy food exciting. So the nice thing about me planning the menus and doing everything myself is that if a client has a specific dietary need or something specific that they really that they're really wanting to work on, I can work with them and come up with a plan specifically for them. I have a couple of clients right now that wanted specific things because of medical diagnoses or just lifestyle changes that they were trying to make. And so when someone tells me that they are wanting to make a change, I work really hard to do my research and learn everything that I can to help them reach those goals. I offer children's-sized meals and kids subscription plans. My kiddo loves to pack his lunch, and I know a lot of other kiddos probably do too. It's fun to have your own lunch to bring, but parents don't have time, and I get it. So I have started offering child plans. I offer several different subscription plans. So my first subscription plan is a monthly, it's a breakfast plan. So each week, the people who subscribe get 6 breakfast meals each week. And I have a lunch plan that includes 6 lunch meals each week. I also have the Prepped for School plan, which includes 12 child-sized meals, so breakfast and lunch if they choose to do so. And then I also have a fully prepped plan, which is my most popular plan right now. It provides 6 breakfasts, 6 lunches, and 6 snacks each week. And those are all fully prepared, and you choose at the beginning of the week what you want, and it's delivered to your door at the end of the week. Perk by Lauren is really focused on not necessarily fitness, but wellness. I obviously am not a small person. I've never been petite. I've never been a small petite person, but my goal was always to feel good and make other people feel good as well. So that's what my focus is making sure that the food makes you feel as good as it tastes. Next slide. My target market is parents and low-income families. Right now, I would love one day to be able to have my food in stores and have people able to use EBT to buy my prepared meals. I know that there's a lot of logistics that go into that, and I obviously have a lot of work to do before I get there, but that's a big goal that I have, is to be able to provide my food and let people use EBT as payment. People with dietary preferences or issues that they are trying to work towards, goals that they're trying to work towards, I love working with people on those goals. So those are my target market right now. And I deliver in Omaha as well as Lincoln and surrounding areas. Next slide. So my future goals and my vision. So I used to work in human services as a life skills teacher for youth. And so my goal is really I would love to one day transition this into a program to be able to teach youth cooking skills and eventually employ and give internship opportunities for Black youth and youth who just don't know how to cook or haven't had someone to teach them how to prepare healthy meals from scratch. I would love to just start doing pop-ups and catering events, and this capital investment would help me to be able to get some supplies into the kitchen that I have been offered. A family friend of mine actually owns a commercial kitchen and has offered me that space. So
hi, Lauren. So it is time.
Okay.
So I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to bring back on our judges and our amazing host, Nikki. Oops, child, I didn't remove Lauren from the stream. Okay. All right, everybody here. Okay, so you, again, as a reminder, you have 10 minutes for Q&A. I am setting my timer, and then I will bring up questions from the audience once all the judges had a chance to ask their first round of questions. Time starts now.
Hey, Lauren, this is Aline. Nice to meet you. Can you talk a little bit about your competitors, or do you have any?
I do. There are a lot of bigger corporations like Eat Fit Go. There are some smaller meal prep companies as well. A lot of those companies, in my personal opinion, are so focused on fitness that sometimes maybe they lose flavor, they lose the originality, they lose the fun that can be in having food. I feel like just because you're eating something that is healthy doesn't mean that you can't still enjoy it and love what you're eating. So I've really tried to take things that I personally love to eat, like ribs and collard greens and things like that, and find a way to make them healthy, which is why I sent you jackfruit ribs. So I feel that a lot of the meal prep companies that I've seen don't branch out into communities like ours. The food is not readily accessible. Most of the meal prep companies that I've seen, I actually had not seen here in Omaha. I'm from Lincoln, so there are a lot more in the Lincoln area. And as far as I know, none of the ones in Nebraska that I know of personally are Black owned.
Thank you.
And we should say that the judges do have food. So Susan with Life with Elixir provided juices, and then Lauren did provide food to the judges that they are either eating now or have already eaten.
Nancy said she ate hers already. So
yes, honey. So I'll go next. That Ashley said that's what it was for. So let me not eat the other things so I can be prepared. So I did eat it. Thank you so much for the presentation. And I absolutely, and the details matter to me. So I appreciate you showing up in your chef's jacket. And I really appreciate seeing your hands covered in gloves in that photo. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And so I do have a couple of questions, and I will also, I have some feedback on the food. So I will stick with the questions first. In the second round, I'll talk about the food. So one of the things I'm wondering about, because at No More Empty Pots, we do, meals and meal kits and fresh produce. So I'm intimately familiar with this on a certain scale. So my question is, how are you retaining your customers? How are you doing with customer retention?
Currently, I have 5 people who are subscribed to my plan that have been for, all of them have been with me for at least 3 months, some of them longer. I have a lot of return customers that come back, every other week or on their paydays. I get a lot of new customers through word of mouth right now, and I use Instagram, Facebook. I have a website. So I think that my website makes it a lot more accessible for people to order. I like they can order as much or as little as they like. So I lost my train of thought right there. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. We're just talking about retention, because I know people like to try things, but I know one of the big issues is keeping that customer there. And so I'm curious, how does that connect to your profitability? Because if you're always going to get customers, then it's hard to build up that base where you can earn profit.
Right, absolutely. That was actually why I started the subscription plans, because at first I wasn't getting a lot of return customers, or people were wanting to buy, a week's worth of meals, but it can get expensive. And so I created the subscription plans to give a little bit of a discount for buying more food at a time, but also to give a little bit more, I like to give choices to everyone. So I think that having the subscription plans has definitely been helpful in retaining. I have a few that I monthly invoice them, and they never stop coming back. So
thank you.
Candace, do you have a question now?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Hi, Lauren.
Hello.
So a couple of things. One, as Nancy mentioned, I really appreciate and like your presentation. So that was me just kind of eating on camera, on screen, tasting your food. That was my first time having jackfruit. And so I appreciate that. And your greens were great. So I guess a couple of questions I have. I know you say you're working for, to be able to offer your services to Omaha and Lincoln. Do you have assistance currently with transportation as far as getting your meals, delivery service to both areas?
No, currently I do everything on my own. So what I do currently is I deliver in Omaha on Saturdays, and I deliver in Lincoln on Sundays, just to give myself time to keep temperatures correct and keep everything in my cooler and just keep things running smoothly. Eventually, it would be really nice once I am done getting this new commercial kitchen repair, I'll be able to hopefully change that structure a little bit to fit my own schedule more. But right now, that's how I do it on myself.
Okay, that's great. And then I really like the idea of you having kids options. And I will say, for all of the meal preps that I know of, even including like the larger ones that I don't see anymore, the Eat Fit Goes, that I think someone mentioned earlier, they haven't offered a kids option for that. And so I think what I'm wondering is, how do those costs compare as, we look at the adult meals or the kids meals options?
So because the children's meals are usually quite a bit smaller, those meals are quite a bit less expensive. I actually have some adult customers who buy the kids meals because they're smaller and they don't like a huge portion and having leftovers. So usually most of my kids meals are around $6 to $7. I try to keep them at, and most adult meals, breakfast is usually around $6 to $8, and lunch can be 10 to 12, depending on if I'm using like seafood or a more expensive protein. It can be a little bit more, but the children's meals are much cheaper.
Okay, I appreciate you sharing that. And then I didn't hear if you said it. Are you working another job also that's helping you to fund this currently to be able to purchase all your products, or is it?
No, I'm currently not. I started this with $500 in my pocket, and I've been just kind of doing what I can here and there, getting equipment as I can. I don't have I don't have much other funding outside of myself. I was in school working at Metro in the work study program, and so I had savings, and when my job got shut down due to the pandemic, I had to do something. I figured, why not try?
Okay, that's amazing. I love how you found a way to try to, help yourself and help the community. And you're in the right group. We're here to encourage. You have a team around you, and everyone that's within IB Black Girl, the participants, the people on leadership, we're all just very, helpful. We like to support. We like to buy. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We have a question from the audience. It is up on the screen, and it says, can you give an example of a breakfast, lunch, and snack item, or maybe your most popular items? And there's 2 minutes left.
Yes. Okay. So my most popular breakfast item is my breakfast burritos. I do I use whole wheat. I have a plant-based option for breakfast burritos, and I also have a non-plant-based option that includes eggs and sausage, usually turkey sausage. For lunches, I have quite a few popular dishes for lunch. One of the most popular is my jackfruit ribs. My second most popular, I would say, is my Asian quinoa salad. It's very refreshing and light, and that's actually what you saw in the photos in my presentation. That was the Asian quinoa salad there. My most popular snack, I do a lot of different varieties of energy balls, which is one of the snacks that you guys saw as well. But one that I love to make are my lotus root chips. Lotus root is known to help with blood pressure and water retention. And so I have found a way to air fry them and make them, and they taste like potato chips, and they're delicious. And you don't have all of the guilt of all of the oil and carbs from potatoes and all of that. So those are some of my most popular things.
Any last questions from the judges with the last 90 seconds?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm interested in that customer and the question in the chat.
Yeah, what is your pricing strategy and portion size?
So my pricing strategy, I actually use a spreadsheet that I got from No More Empty Pots for my pricing. So that has actually made it so much easier for me. When I was in culinary school, I did learn about costing and all of that, but it's been years. And so I had to kind of relearn all of that. And the spreadsheet that I got from No More Empty Pots incubator program has been very, very helpful in me finding out ways to make a profit off of my food. Portion size.
So unfortunately, we can't get to your portion size, Lauren, because we're at time. But thank you for a great presentation, and we appreciate you, letting us know about your business.
Thank
So I
you.
am going to remove folks from our stream, and we're going to get set up for our last picture of our time together. Nikki, do you want to go ahead and give the introduction?
Absolutely. So up next, we have Miss Marquila Dean, the owner and operator of Eat All Things, EAT. Eat All Things celebrates luxury in an unconventional way by offering its customers time savings and peace of mind. With Eat, hire someone to handle the things that you don't want to. Marquila, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm actually out of town, so I'm in my hotel doing the pitch. So Eat is actually Enjoy All Things. It's a luxury lifestyle food brand, and I comprise it of two different sectors, one that is not for profit and then one that is for profit. Next slide, please. So this is Enjoy All Things Free. I've taken on the cost to have a website where I do blogging, lifestyle blogging, like with me traveling different restaurants that I've gone to. Like here, I'm in Atlanta right now, and they have a really nice indoor farmers market. So I like to go there a lot when I'm here. So just being able to blog on those different experiences. Also on my website, I do recipe writing. So I have different recipes on there, which I really want to get back to be able to just send people to the website whenever they're looking for something new to eat, something that they want to try or that they've seen me actually make. I put some of those recipes on there, doing online tutorials on my Snapchat, and a lot of times on my actual Instagram page. I'll actually record the step-by-step of me simply making dinner and being able to put those in like my highlights for people to view later on. Also with my nonprofit part, I have done volunteering at the Westside Boys and Girls Club. I've done volunteering for the Girls Club, and I really want to get more into that, really with our young adults and children, so that they are able to take things that they've learned back home and be able to cook and do those things with their parents and with their families. Different tips and tricks that I also want to include, and that I do include, are budget meals. I have a recipe that's on my website, and it was like a $10 meal, a full chicken, 2 sides, but then also taking that meal to have minimal food waste and being able to repurpose your leftovers. The next slide, please. And then Enjoy All Things for profit. So I do a lot of catering. I do private cooking lessons, and of course, due to COVID, I don't do as many right now. So I would like to do more on a virtual scale. I do offer some meal prep where if they're just busy and they want me to cook for them, or if they are on like their fitness weight loss journey and they want me to meal prep like their fitness foods or whatever. I also offer a grocery concierge service where I will do the grocery shopping for you. Some of those, I would like those to align with my recipes. So I will offer different recipes that I cook, and then I can go and get those groceries for you, and you don't have to worry. Or I also offer just normal grocery shopping. You don't want to spend your Saturday going to the grocery store, you can hire me to do that. And then also personalized recipes. A lot of people are doing like diets, so they are also able to hire me to be able to come up with different recipes that will align with their new lifestyle or their current lifestyle. Next slide, please. And then what's new, what I am currently working on, and then what the investment will allow me to work on. I need to utilize my YouTube channel. I need a new laptop so I can do that. So that would be like the first thing that I will purchase. Lighting, microphones, things to actually be able to make videos and tutorials for my customers. Spices and sauces. I have a lot of popular like sauces, like a mushroom cream sauce. I also do like for your crab boils, I have a sauce. So I want to be able to actually package those and be able to sell those at a greater scale than what I'm doing now. And then I also want to build up my inventory. I do a lot of catering, and a lot of people, they want the convenience of just being able to throw away the stuff. But because I am more towards a luxury service, I want to build like my inventory of platters, utensils, stemware, actual real chafing dishes where once I cater, I come back and I pick that up. But also when I'm not using it and my customers, they're having their own events, then they can actually rent those from me and I will be able to make a profit. And then what I mean by let's get the bag is I have a full-time job. And so I haven't really been pushing EAT as a full-time business. And I know I should be, and I know I have the potential, and EAT has been growing a lot. So just being able to push myself and really, I guess, pour into myself and pour into my business more. That's what I mean by let's get the bag. I will say eat, enjoy all things. It is, again, a lifestyle type of brand. The brand, it came from just changing your mindset, finding the silver lining in everything, being able to truly enjoy all things, just thinking on a day-to-day, yes, this was a bad situation, this was a bad day, but being able to find something good out of it is how I came up with the brand, Enjoy All Things. And I'm actually done with my presentation, so.
Okay, Marquila, let me bring everyone else back on screen. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Stop my timer. Stop sharing my screen. All right, so let me bring back in the judges. Hey, y'all, hey. Let me get Nikki. Come on here, Nikki. Okay, so as a reminder, you have 10 minutes for a question and answer. I will be monitoring the chat, and once the judges go through kind of their first round of questions, we'll bring in questions from the audience. All right, judges, you can go ahead, or excuse me, evaluators, you can go ahead and ask the question. You know, because it's different. Like, we're not here to judge. You know, we're really evaluating, providing like love, support, positive feedback. So I need to make sure I get the language together. So evaluators, you may go ahead and start.
Different. It is. I like how Melinda put her head in for that one. So I do want to, if it's okay, I want to start with the questions, and it's only because the very first thing I noticed is that you do a whole lot, and so I do also, but I'm wondering kind of what's most important to you because you work the full time and you offer so many different services within EAT. So whether it's your grocery shopping, you're teaching people how to cook, you're doing rental services, you're doing your YouTube channel, you're creating spices, and then you're also meal prepping. So for EAT, I guess, what is the focus of the company and how do you make sure you don't mission creep or kind of just get into too many things so that you can, bring this to fruition as a full time that you said you'd like to do?
Right. So with the nonprofit part of it, I can do a lot of that on my own. If I wake up and I'm having insomnia, 2 a.m., I can hop onto my website, update things, and do that sort of thing. As far as the for-profit part of it, I get a lot of catering. A lot of people, they don't utilize the grocery shopping as much. They don't, utilize, or they don't know that I offer that as well. So I get a lot of catering so I can kind of flex my availability. But really my focus is to provide a luxury service where you can be the guest at your own party or at your own event. And it can be as small as, hey, I just want someone to come in and cook for myself, or I'm having 15 people over and I don't want to focus on that. So I just want to give you back your luxury of having your time back and not have to worry about it, have that peace of mind. And I'm here to do it. So to answer your question, it would be more so a convenience for you where you don't have to worry about it.
Hey, Marquila, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for your participation today. My question for you, can you talk a little bit more about your revenue model, and then also what makes your business unique?
So again, I think, okay. I think that what makes it unique is it's, again, a luxury service where it's all about convenience, and people don't think as luxury as time, where, let's say, for example, you don't want to do your grocery shopping on the weekends. You've worked all week, Saturday, you have to go to the grocery store for the week before. Why not get your time back and hire someone that's able to do that, that actually enjoys doing it as it is, that enjoys actually going to the grocery store and grocery shopping. My motto when I cater, I do like the typical 3-to-1 for your food costs, because I do want to always make sure that I'm making a profit so that I can put back into the business with different equipment and different things that I use. But as far as like grocery shopping or my concierge services, I just have like an hourly that I set, and then you would give me your budget as far as how much you want to spend on groceries, and then I can do that for you.
Nancy, did you have a question?
Oh, yeah. I'm wondering about the customers. I hear you talk about, first of all, hello, thank you for your presentation. I hear you talking about luxury, and for some folks, like you say, we think of luxury in other ways than time. So when you talk about this opportunity, this service that you're offering, who is the customer? How are you getting them? And then how are you retaining them? I heard you talk mostly about catering, but with all of the other things, how is all of this working?
Okay. So my audience is typically women. I have more women as my customers between the ages of 27 and 50. Again, when it comes to catering, it's corporate events that I've done. Again, I've done private dinners, so I'll do catering for anniversary dinners and things like that. When it comes to men, because I have had a few men clients, it is more so for, I'm busy, so I just want you to prep the meals during the day, so I just need you to do that for me. Or they want like a date night. They want to do something special for their partner. I get a lot of my customers from word of mouth when it comes to everything else except for catering. I'll have a lot of people that'll just text me, or they'll send me an email and say, hey, I've heard that you provide this service from someone else. When it comes to catering, though, I get a lot of those from social media. And I do have a ton of repeat clients whenever they have something coming up, whether it's a business opening, baby shower, or a birthday. I do have those repeat clients that will always come to me typically when it comes to catering for their events.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm wondering too, how will you use the money, the funds that are offered through the competition?
Okay, so I did mention that I do want to get a new laptop. I really need to get back into my blogging, because I do have a lot of people, when they see my different videos on social media, Snapchat and Instagram, they will send me a message and what's in that? How'd you do that? What's the amount? So I really, truly need to get back to my recipe writing. One, so I'm not continuously telling, my clients or people that follow me on social media what's in here over and over again. I also want, like I stated, because it is a luxury service, I want to have the whole setup where I'm coming in and I have the linens, I have utensils, stemware, all of that, chafing dishes for my different events to be able to come in and really provide a full service, candlelit dinners, if that's something that you prefer. And so I want to invest that into getting more inventory. And again, use that money where if you're having an event, you can actually come and rent that stuff from me and not have to go to another rental service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Candace, did you have a question?
Sorry if I could get unmuted. I didn't have another question at this time, but I'm looking at a couple of things. And so I was kind of doing that at the same time for her. But I appreciate mainly her speaking to what I was thinking of is just, and Nancy kind of asked about it as well, just kind of keeping a balance in what she's focused on for the business.
Awesome. I'm looking at the chat. It does not look like we have more questions from our audience, but if you do, we have about 90 more seconds to get those answered. So feel free to go ahead and put that in the comments. Nancy or Eileen, any further questions from you two?
Yeah, my only other question is just, is there anything else, Marquita, that you can share about your business that you haven't already?
My business, it is my heart. It took me a while to actually do it because I honestly didn't know that I had a talent. People were just like, no, you can really cook and I can't do this. So I had to learn, like, no, what you're doing is actually special. And then I'm starting to tear up because I think about the brand and where it came from and really how, So one of my friends, she lost her parent, and the only thing that she wanted and wants is to hear her mother's voice. And so when I think about just little things that makes it like a hard day, or even my mother getting on my nerves, like, I don't want to talk to her, she's calling me again. And it really made me sit back and say, really enjoy everything. Enjoy the time and the things that you have, and just how it's never really that bad. Nothing is that bad. So I really take this brand and I've incorporated it as a lifestyle and really something that I truly, truly believe in.
Thank you. I just want to tell you, thank you for sharing with us and for, following and believing in your own dream, because everyone doesn't do that. Everybody, has dreams, but sometimes it's tough to step out on faith, and do that. So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Awesome. And so it looks like we may have lost Ash. The wind's blowing kind of high out here. Perfect. So thank you so much, Marquita, and for showing us Enjoy All Things. At this point, we're actually going to take the evaluators into your Zoom session. So evaluators, if you recall, you received in that email a link to a Zoom session where you can go to deliberate. And I'll be joining you there in a few minutes. And Ash, I'll turn it over to you to explain what will happen after while we're away.
Yes, so they are going to go and deliberate in Zoom, and they have a hard job to do, right? They are going to have to decide on who gets first, second, or third place. As a reminder, we are coming from a place of abundance. So all of our pitchers today will walk away with some prize, either a $5,000, $2,000, or $1,000 investment. We will also be providing wraparound support to all of our pitchers, no matter where they play. So they will get new product and product shoots and videos. They will get branding support. They will get some web presence audits and support. They will get business coaching. And so we're really excited to be able to provide this. And now our judges are going to have to figure that out. So we will be back here in about 15 minutes at 3:30. So feel free to go get a drink, keep this up. But at 3:30, we will have the announcement. So don't miss it. Come back and we will see you then. Hello, everyone. We are back. So I am going to bring on Nikki, who's going to make a couple of announcements before we announce what y'all all been waiting to hear. Hey, Nick. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Hey, oh, so I thought you said Annette. I was like, oh, there's an Annette.
Child, you know I'm talking about you.
I know. I was like, Annette, come on, girl. Hey. Hey,
Hey, girl, hey.
Awesome. Yes. So, super. We just had a great discussion with the evaluators. And before we announce who our winners are, I want to just first point out that every single person who pitched today is leaving with the prize package because we believe in abundance. We are not coming from that. But, you know, my shirt says so over it. We're so over having to have that crab in the barrel mentality. We're not doing it. So everyone is leaving with something today. With that being said, we want to definitely thank our evaluators, Miss Candace, Miss Eileen, Miss Nancy. Thank you so much for, first of all, the feedback.
They are great, aren't they?
Yes. They are awesome in everything they do and had great words for each of the pitchers. We also want to thank our sponsors. Of course, this event sponsor, Spreetel. Thank you so much for making this happen, our third annual pitch event. Our prize package sponsors, Bank of the West, Centris, and Millwork Commons. And as always, we have the Women's Fund of Omaha, who supports us as our fiscal sponsor. So we really appreciate them. With that being said, I also want to acknowledge that in addition to the cash prize today, our pitchers will also be receiving group business coaching based on their industry from Equita. They'll also be receiving product videos and photo marketing, a web presence audit, as well as branding support. This total prize package for all of the 4 pitches is a total of over $70,000 invested into 12 Black women-owned businesses. So we're putting the money back where it belongs and super excited to see what they do with it. With that being said, let's
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm going to start with our third place prize. And this individual will be winning a $1,000 cash prize in addition to everything I just mentioned. That is Miss Marquila Dean from Enjoy All Things. Hi, Marquila. Congratulations. Perfect. And she's partied up in Atlanta, so enjoy your party.
All right, like celebrate while you there, bro.
Celebrate. We have in our second place, first runner up, Miss Susan Safia with Life Elixir Juices. There she is, Miss Pretty there. Look at the setup. She deserves, throw a few extra coins for the setup. Beautiful. Awesome. Which means our first place for our food and beverage pitch is Miss Lauren Monroe with Prep by Lauren. Come on, Lauren. Look at that smile. Oh, awesome.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Cook us something and show your thanks. That's what I want. I want a burrito.
I got you.
Awesome. Well, that's what we have. And I do want to say, if you have fun, first of all, audience, thank you for participating. Thank you for your questions, your comments. We will be doing this again next week ×2. So we have our lifestyle next week where we will look at lifestyle apparel and lifestyle beauty. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ash to talk about some of the other initiatives we are doing at IB Black Girl.
Yes, thank you, Nikki. And this was such an amazing day. You know, like I always get really excited about this. Like it's always you ripping and running. And just to think about the hard decision one the evaluators had, but just what we hope to invest in for our Black women founders, right? Like to like whatever they aspire to do, like we saying we got you in some sort of capacity. I just hope that everyone feels that, and I'm excited for that. And there's more ways to engage. So we are advocating around expanding natural hair protections in the workplace. So that means we need your support for LB 451. It is currently out of committee. That means it has 3 rounds on the floor for debate in order to go back to the governor's desk to get signed into legislation. And so we need you. We need you to go put comments on the online portal of your support. We need you to call your senator and tell them to vote for LB 451. All that information is on our website. We send out newsletters so you can subscribe, look at our social media and pull off posts and all of that. But please make sure you engage in advocacy. We are also leading in spaces of Black maternal health. So make sure that you, again, engage on our website, on our social media around the legislation that is out there that will start to address Black maternal health, and just really engage in the conversation around, one, just how you can advocate for yourself. Like, we want this work to be accessible for Black women, for birthing folks, right? And like, how do you advocate for your health when you are wanting to get pregnant during childbirth and after? And then also, let's hold these institutions accountable to how they treat us and our quality of care. So please, please, please bring your voices and your thoughts, and we want you to engage in this conversation as well. Thank you again to all of the pitchers. We are super excited. All of their links are in the chat. We drop those in there so that you can follow them, buy their products, gas them up, and tell them what an amazing job that they did today, because it was super dope. And then, like Nikki said, they back next week. So we have 2 different pitches, one for beauty within our lifestyle, and then apparel. So we'll have great Black women founders again, one starting at 1 p.m. and the other starting at 3. So make sure you tune in. And we are excited to be able to hang out with y'all. And thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Hang out with us on social media. We got a whole bunch of posts and stuff going. We got like cute swag that you can get and like all the things. So Nikki, you didn't even have your swag on today. You're muted. What did you say?
Oh, I put on my button because I didn't have my swag on today.
Okay. We do got those for sale though. We do got the buttons for sale. So buy those too.
I was just going to say, the best way you can also help support us is being kind to Black women. Okay. I'm getting tired of the rhetoric out there. So compliment
be kind. Thank Black women. It's on my shirt.
Yes.
Listen, stop with the racism and patriarchy and we would be cool. Okay. So, yes. Well, thank y'all again. We are going to sign off. Congratulations to all the Black women business owners. We're excited for y'all. And we will see you later.
All right. Bye-bye.